Whatever. Anyway, forgive me. We're live. We're live for Manchester City and Crystal Palace. It's a big early kickoff in the Premier League ahead of a massive weekend of football. It's very, very important today, I think, for Manchester City to get the win. Champions League football is essential for them. We all know that. This is potentially an FA Cup final, of course. These two teams are fighting in the FA Cup still. City have got Forest, Palace have got Villa. So potentially an FA Cup final between these two sides in in another month's time. But we're focusing on the league today. We've got just about 30 minutes, 25 minutes or so to kick off. Still a bit of time, and yeah, really looking forward to it. You'll have to let me know in the comments what you're thinking in terms of scoreline predictions. Still a long way to go. I've not yet seen the teams. Let me get the teams up and we can have a look at the teams just before kick-off. Thank you to everyone who sent me messages, by the way, birthday well wishes and all that sort of stuff. Thank you very much for everyone that sent those through. I am just looking forward to this game. Forgive me. Let me get the lineup going. So lineups for Manchester City today. In goal, Ederson. In defence, it's Rico Lewis, Ruben Dias, Josko Gvardiol's at centre-back today. Obviously, City have had a lot of issues at centre-back, haven't they? Kusanov hasn't quite taken to the league yet. Unsurprising, given he is so young. Vitor Reese the same. Akanji out, Ake out, Stones out. Lots of issues at centre-half for City. Luckily, they can move their £100 million full-back into centre-back and no problems there. So it's Diaz and Gvardiol at centre-back. Very, very capable, those two. Nico O'Reilly in at left-back. What an unbelievable start he's had to his Manchester City career, by the way. I think he's been phenomenal. Fantastic against Bournemouth. Into midfield, and it's an odd setup, I've got to say. It's Nico Gonzalez sitting with Kovacic and Gundogan. De Bruyne and James McAtee on the wings behind Omar Marmoush. So no Bernardo Silva, no Savinho, no Grealish, no Doku, no Nunes, of course, another one who's featured regularly for City. So lots of players dropped. Another piece of good news for City is that Oscar Bob, who hasn't been seen, as far as I'm aware, don't think Oscar Bob has been in a team of Manchester City's for the best part of 12 months. I may be wrong in saying that. City fans, you might have to correct me. But Oscar Bob has not been in the team for City for some time. He's back today. He's back. He's on the bench. Oscar Bob, such a talented young player. Still only, I think, 21. Is he? 21? Massive, massive talent. You know, we've seen him come off the bench and make a big difference for City in games in seasons gone by, or famously the Newcastle game. And I think he's got a big future, so I'm actually quite looking forward to seeing him get back fit and get in amongst the City side. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting one today. For Palace have got a few issues. No Mark Guéhi, maybe the best player this season, you could argue. Mark Guéhi out suspended after that red card against Brighton. So Palace's lineup is Dean Henderson in goal. The back three is Maxence Lacroix and Chris Richards, both of whom have featured regularly, but instead of Mark Guéhi, they've dropped Jefferson Lerma back into that back three. So he's going to play as a bit more of a sweeper, a little bit deeper. That's an unusual position for Jefferson Lerma. And it does have a knock-on effect into midfield, because in midfield, Daichi Kamada, who is normally played as almost as a number 10, is now deeper in the midfield where Jefferson Lerma normally would be. He's playing alongside Adam Wharton. So it's Henderson, it's Lacroix, Lerma and Richards with Tyrick Mitchell and Daniel Munoz, who we know I've talked an awful lot about in the last few weeks. So yeah, Daniel Munoz, Tyrick Mitchell on the flanks, Daichi Kamada And Adam Wharton in midfield. Massively looking forward to seeing Adam Wharton today. And the front three, the usual Palace front three that has caused teams chaos in recent months. Eberechi Eze, Ismail Assar, and there's nobody better than Jean-Philippe Mateta up front. So an interesting side interesting sides for both teams, isn't it? Odd lineups, I'd have to say. Odd lineups. I wouldn't have expected those. City dropping a few. Palace changing it round a little bit, and it's delicately poised today. I think we're going to see goals. I don't know if it's just maybe Pep Guardiola. He's got a little bit of a thing about outside criticism. It feels like he's always, throughout his entire career, responded whenever there's been criticism from the press, from the fact there's been a response. He's very much kind of shoulders back, and there was a lot of criticism after the Manchester derby about the way that City approached that game. I mean, the way that Manchester United approached that game, but there was a lot of criticism from Gary Neville, from various pundits, that it was a boring Manchester derby, that Manchester City were ineffective, that they were blunt in attack, no real creative force. And I think that Pep Guardiola will take that to heart. Pep Guardiola will take that to heart. His teams have always, well, I guess maybe not. It depends which way you look at it. But certainly at Barcelona, he's taken pride that his teams have always entertained. They've always produced the goods, the results. But I think he's always thought his team's entertained. And look, I'm interested to see how his team reacts today, because he started James McAtee. That's an odd one. He's put De Bruyne out wide. That's an odd one. He's put Gvardiol back into centre back. He's put Rico Lewis back in at right back. Nico O'Reilly starting at left back. The midfield's kind of shuffled around a little bit, with Gundogan slightly playing further forward in more of a number 10 position. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game, and I'm looking forward to it. I think City will struggle. I've got to say, my gut is telling me Palace or draw. My gut is telling me Palace or draw. Let's just take a quick look at the chat. I've not had a look at the chat today. Let me take a look and see where we're at. I did have a good birthday, mate. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate it. I had a lovely birthday. I'll tell you a bit of a secret. Well, it's not a secret, but my missus, she booked a hotel. She booked a hotel for us to stay at, and we were in the same hotel as Wrexham today. So I came out for breakfast this morning, and Stephen Fletcher, Jay Rodriguez, and James McLean were all sat basically having the breakfast next to me. And I had that, and it's so mad, but I was just going to go and get a picture with him, because I got stage fright. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I do this in front of thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of people watch these videos, watch these lives. And yeah, Stephen Fletcher, Jay Rodriguez, and James McLean were having the breakfast. I didn't want to disturb them as well. There's a little bit of that. But I ended up just kind of saying to them, listen, good luck today, lads. They're playing Wigan away in the 12:30 as well, another 12:30, so we'll see how they get on. But I said, good luck today, lads. And they went, oh, thank you, kind of thing. But Stephen Fletcher looks absolutely the same as he's done his entire career. But Stephen Fletcher, James McLean, and Jay Rodriguez were all there, and the full squad then came through, just as we were kind of checking out and stuff as well. So yeah, mad. Little bit of a, I don't know, starstruck. I guess I was kind of hoping Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney would be there as well. Right, so let's just take a look at the chat. Ghosty, will De Bruyne score? Well, I know Bet365, not that I'm promoting Bet365, but I know that certain betting companies, let's say, are doing a £10, I think the double your odds, like 2-1 or 3-1 or something like that, if De Bruyne has a shot on target in this game. And I thought that was quite good value. I haven't backed it, but I thought that was quite good value. G, come on, Palace. I thought you might say that. The one and only 2-2. I think that's a good shout. Yeah, I think that's a good shout. The way the lineups are set up, it's going to be a bit of an odd one. User 6289948412463. What do you think of Blackburn Rovers this season? I mean, they had the whole sort of mess with, was it John Eustace, when he kind of left them and went to Derby mid-season, and Derby were at the bottom end, and Blackburn have kind of fallen away since. I mean, we could have all predicted that. I was a little bit gutted because I kind of hoped that Blackburn might come up this season. I've always had a bit, I don't know why, again, I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Blackburn Rovers. And I'm not from Blackburn. I haven't got an affinity with Blackburn, really. There's no connection to Blackburn, other than that I'm from the Northwest. But yeah, I've always just quite liked Blackburn. Maybe it's because Kenny Dalglish managed them. Maybe it's Kenny Dalglish, I don't know. But I've always quite liked Blackburn. And yeah, I was a bit gutted that they've fallen away this season. I thought they could have had an outside chance of the playoffs. Craig, I'm sure Bob had a huge injury early in the season. He did, yeah, and he's been out for some time. FM No Casuals, Lerma the Libero, yeah. FM No Casuals, now, mate, they'll appreciate you not doing that, to be fair, but it's class, that. I mean, you don't tend to bump into players that often. I don't run in the same circles as them, but as I say, they were in this kind of hotel and spa that we were booked into for my birthday, and yeah, they were just there having breakfast. So it was nice, but I didn't want to, because they were kind of all there. I didn't know if they were having like a team meeting. I didn't know if they were like discussing tactics ahead of the game. They might have just been talking rubbish ahead of the game. I don't know, but they had the early kick-off. I'm sure they didn't want people coming up and mithering them for photos. I just walked past and said good luck, and they said thank you, and that was it. Carl Red, Man City 0, Palace 2. You think Palace are going to win? I think Palace have got the better attack on paper. I've got to say. I think Palace have got the better attack today. Today they've got the better attack. De Bruyne, still not quite sure where he's at in terms of his recovery and all that sort of stuff. No, he's getting on a bit. Marmoush is brilliant, we all know that, and James McAtee, I think, needs more minutes at the top level. I think he's got to leave City for his own good, hasn't he? Right, let me take a quick look at the chat. Let's see what we've got going on. Right, let's get all set up for the game. 15 minutes to kick off. It stinks of City pressure all game, then Palace score 2 in the last 20. Could be right. He could be right. Yeah. We'll be live as well throughout today. Again, if you feel free to dip in and out, come back and come back later on or whatever if you want to. Ideally, you'll stay with us all day, but don't feel like you have to. I'm going to be watching all 3 games. Well, there's lots of games, but all 3 that we're going to be watching today. We've got this one, City against Palace at 12:30. Straight after that at 3 o'clock, one of the 3 o'clocks, we're going to watch Nottingham Forest against Everton. Again, another one in the Champions League race. I think that one's going to be a big one to watch. Everton always good away from home. And then the big 5:30, Arsenal against Brentford. Can Brentford put another dent in Arsenal's title race? Can they do what West Ham did not that long ago? Brentford's away form, absolutely brilliant. One of the best in the league, by the way. So Brentford no scabs away from home, and I think they could cause Arsenal a few problems. I think Forest, I mean, again, I'm biased. I'm a Liverpool fan, so I hope Everton get beat. But I do think Forest will get the win there and bounce back from the result against Villa last week. If they were to drop points against Everton, it really would put the cat amongst the pigeons, wouldn't it, in terms of the Champions League race. So tight there at the moment. Newcastle playing Manchester United tomorrow. We'll be live for that at 4:30 as well. So lots going on. Absolutely loads going on in the race for Europe over this weekend. Brighton have got Leicester. Is it Brighton have got Leicester today at 3 o'clock? So we'll keep an eye out for that. A number of different games going on, but we'll be live tomorrow for Liverpool against West Ham. Big one at the top of the table, especially after Salah and Van Dijk effectively confirming that they're staying now. Liverpool, will they bounce back from last week, and can they hopefully get the title over the line without any sort of, I just can't be bothered with Liverpool dropping points to West Ham, Arsenal beating Brentford, then Arsenal going through in Europe. It'll just create this whole tension around the league site, the end of the league season, that it doesn't need to be. I'm so nervous, and I shouldn't be. We're 11 points clear with 7 games to go. What are you talking about? Why are you getting nervous? And it's nothing to do with Arsenal. I don't rate Arsenal that highly. I really don't. I still think there's an outside chance Real Madrid beat Arsenal. I really do. I think Real Madrid will put up a real fight in that second leg. If you're telling me to put fingers in the drawer which team am I going to back to go through, it'd still be Arsenal, but you can't rule Real Madrid out at the Bernabeu. You cannot rule them out. If they get a goal in that first 5-10 minutes of the second half even, 1-0 up, 30-40 minutes to go, are you telling me Real Madrid can't score 2 goals? You're mad. You're absolutely mad. Sean Nesbitt, Palace to get a draw today, then get absolutely battered Wednesday. Is that the semi-final, Sean? Have I missed something? Is that the semi-final? Surely not. Oh no, Wednesday's Newcastle, isn't it? Wednesday's Newcastle are at St James's Park. Semi-finals not till later in the month, isn't it? 26th they're playing Villa. Sorry. 42, Palace win. What the fuck is that City team? Yeah, I mean, the City team's an odd one. It is an odd one. It's a bit of a curveball, but I think that's born out of frustration. I think that Pep Guardiola's he's not happy with the output from this City team. He's not happy with what they're giving him. So it's just not surprising that we're seeing changes. Right. This one is live on TNT Sports. So if you're in the UK and you're watching this, or you want to watch this, it's live on TNT Sports. Just FYI. I know a lot of people tend to ask me in the chat. That is where it is, if you wish to watch it. Yeah, so we're live all day today. We are live all day today. So hopefully you all stick with me. We'll be live pretty much from 12 o'clock to about 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight. So you might get fed up of me if you do stick around, but there's a lot of good football to watch. I'll keep you informed on all the other games that's going on, not just in England, not just in the Premier League, but across the Championship, across Europe as well, as goals go in, whether it be in the Brighton and Leicester game or the Southampton Villa game. Lots of other games going on across Europe this afternoon as well, by the way. Leeds and Preston's about to kick off. Plymouth Sheffield United is about to kick off. Across Europe, Real Sociedad Mallorca in La Liga is another one that's about to kick off. Got the early games in the Bundesliga, some decent games going on in that one. Mainz against Hoffenheim against Mainz. Leverkusen are away to... Leverkusen are at home to Union Berlin at the top of the Bundesliga. Still got a big gap to make up there, Leverkusen. 6 points on Bayern Munich. But Mainz are only 2 points behind RB Leipzig in the race for Champions League football next year. Leipzig obviously beating Wolfsburg last night, and if Mainz can get a win today, they'd go above Leipzig and I think above Frankfurt as well. So Bundesliga is a very big day as well today. What else is going on in Europe? Monaco and Marseille in Ligue 1, second against third. Both of those being chased still by Strasbourg. Strasbourg are flying in Ligue 1. Strasbourg are fourth at the minute, and they're in a Europa League place. But are they in a Europa League place? I don't know if they're in. I don't know what fourth gets you in France at the moment. I think it gets you maybe a Champions League qualifier, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. So Strasbourg are in fourth, but they're only... I'll have a quick check. I think they were 1 point. I think they're 1 point off Monaco, who play Marseille today. And only 3 points behind Marseille. Obviously, PSG miles ahead. They've won the championship out there. They're fine. They're flying. But there is a real battle. There is a real battle from kind of Lille in 7th, Nice, Strasbourg, Monaco, Marseille, all those teams. There's a good 5, 6. It's exactly the same as the Premier League. There's a big battle there where there's maybe only 5 or 6 points separating 6 or 7 teams for Champions League football. And some real outsiders there. Some real outsiders. Callum the Red. City in a 4-1, 2-1-2 for City today. Is it? Do we think? I would say it's probably more of a 4-2-3-1. Certainly Nico and Kovacic, I would imagine, are sitting. Gundogan can't really sit anymore. He's not that guy. He needs to float around the edge of the box, and where De Bruyne should be. He's pushed De Bruyne out wide left. That's what's odd. He's pushed De Bruyne out wide left, and McAtee, who's also not a winger, wide right. So he's gonna end up playing with 5 central midfielders. It's going to be very narrow for City. The only thing I can assume is that he said to Rico Lewis, and Nico O'Reilly, you guys, I want you high all the time. I want you two right on the halfway line and bombing forward. So don't worry about cover. Kovacic, Nico, you guys split and go and cover the full-back areas. The width is going to be provided by Rico Lewis and Nico O'Reilly. That would be what I expect to see based on that setup, that lineup. There's no way Guardiola's playing that narrow. Surely he can't play that narrow. If he does, I think Palace will do him. Rubes, thank you for the rose. I appreciate it. And for the heart. What a guy. I appreciate it. Looking forward to Brighton today. Rubes, Brighton Leicester, you guys should win that quite comfortably. Looks like a glorious day at the Etihad. Beautiful day. What a lovely day for watching football. What a lovely day for watching football. Callum the Red, 0-2. Palace, Mateta and Sarr scorers. You can't rule out Eze. You cannot rule out Eze. Eze's been flying this season, hasn't he? Been doing so well. Rubes, City for the win. Not Leicester City. Not Leicester City, Rubes. No, I think you're right. I think City will get the job done today, I think. I can't rule Palace out, and I'm really interested to see what they do. Palace are behind Liverpool, the form team in the country, aren't they? Nobody's picked up more points after Liverpool. Nobody's picked up more points than Palace. They've picked up more than Arsenal in the last... It might be since the turn of the year. I think since January. That might be right. I think I'm right in saying that. Since January, in 2025, Palace have picked up more points than anyone bar Liverpool. Sure, that's accurate. I saw a graphic saying words to that effect. But yeah, I do. I expect that City will just about get the job done. Just. Right, let's get ready for kickoff. Let's get the old fancy scoreboard out. I say fancy. It's as fancy as I can muster right now, so it'll have to do for you. If anyone's having a whinge, then unlucky. Rubes, it's Newcastle at second place by 1 point. Is it really? Yeah, Newcastle have been very good in fairness, and Forest. Glorious day at the Etihad. Oh, I've done it again. Right, do you know what? I'm changing that. I've put Palace in blue, and I'm not having that. If they're in yellow, I'm changing the background colour. I am not happy with that at all. Not 1 second am I having them in that. And the text will make it... Should we make it red? Go on, we'll make it red. Why not? There you go. Is that readable? Man City 0, Palace 0. Yeah, that works, doesn't it? Or should we have them in blue? Don't really like red writing. Might have people who've got... Yeah, we'll have them in blue. Blue makes a bit more sense, doesn't it? There you go. That looks a bit better. That looks a lot better. Man City 0, Palace 0. Twisted Wharton versus Unk Trio. Wharton's going to do some damage today. We love Adam Wharton. He's a favourite of the channel. Wonderful player. And Maxence Lacroix, by the way. Very, very likeable Maxence Lacroix. Looking forward to seeing how he does. This has got Jefferson Lerma set up on the right-hand side of defence. And I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. Something tells me he's probably more central and playing a bit more of a sweeper role. But we shall see. It's the long goodbye for Kevin De Bruyne. Everyone is just waiting for him. It's a 4-1-2. 4-1-2-1-2, I was right. Shows on TNT. But listen, TNT are awful, to be fair. I was going to say, I've just spotted your comment, Rubes. TNT don't know. TNT couldn't find their arse with both hands. TNT employ Rio Ferdinand. That tells you an awful lot. Oh. My missus picked one of these up. Again, I'm not promoting it, by the way, before anyone starts. But we went to the Trafford Centre yesterday for my birthday, and we went in this shop looking for some bits for my little girl, and my missus picked this up for me. It's a Korean drink called Milkis. I've never seen it before, never heard of it before. It's basically cream soda. But I'm partial to cream soda. I quite like a bit of cream soda. And this is melon flavour cream soda. And I wasn't mad keen on it before, I've got to be honest. I wasn't mad keen on it. It's just water, cane sugar, skimmed milk powder, soybean, melon flavour, stabilizer, whatever that is, and yeah, it's quite nice actually, quite nice. TNT have Mr. Obvious Owen, yeah, Michael Owen, poor commentator. Right, we're off. We are underway. Manchester City against Crystal Palace at the Etihad. Big day for Champions League football. And a potential FA Cup final next month between these two. What do we think? Oh, that's a good start by City. They're in down the right-hand side already. Ball across the face of the box. Oh, a bit heavy on the cross. It's going to go all the way out for a throw into Palace. James McAtee with the ball in. Didn't quite get it right. Welcome to the chat, Afro Willie. Have we got any thoughts on who is actually going to make those European positions? Let me know in the chat what you're thinking. There seems to be probably 7 teams maybe that are in with a shout of European football in the Prem. Bearing in mind that, I mean, let's exclude Spurs or Manchester United winning the Europa League. I mean, that doesn't really affect things, but let's exclude that as a possibility. I think it's almost certain that we're going to see, although it is certain now, isn't it? We're going to see 5 English teams in the Champions League next season. City offside. We're going to see 5 English teams in the Champions League next season. And that will probably be made up of the top 5 in the league, assuming that Spurs or Manchester United don't win the Europa League. If they do win the Europa League, if one of those wins it, then we will have 6 teams in the Champions League, the top 5, and then whoever wins it. And then it will be 6th gets Europa League, and 7th gets Conference League. The only way that could change is if Chelsea had a horrendous end to the season and finished as low as 8th, but won the Conference League. If they won the Conference League, then they would get into the Europa League by default next year. Ball into the box from Palace, Mateta. First half chance, I guess. Jean-Philippe Mateta. There was a ball in from the right-hand side. He would have been offside. Yeah, he would have been offside. So we've got... Would we include Bournemouth? I think we have to include Bournemouth, don't we? So there's 3, 6, 8. So there's 10. Well, no, there's 10 points separating 7 teams from Forest in 3rd down to Brighton in 9th. And I would argue Forest could still drop out of the top 5. Ball in. It's put behind by Palace. Is it a corner? No, they kept it in. Palace clear it away. Good ball in that from City. Marmoush was there. He was waiting. Newcastle look in a really, really good position. Chelsea, I'm not mad keen on them. I don't think they're playing all that well. That's a great ball over the top. City are in here. Poor shot from James McAtee, straight at the keeper. Keeps that one out. Straight at Dean Henderson. Bournemouth, I think they've just fallen away at the crucial moment, haven't they? It's disappointing with Bournemouth. It's really disappointing because you could see just, not that long ago, really, Bournemouth had a massive opportunity. They were doing so well in the league. And I just think all of a sudden it's kind of felt a bit for him at the wrong time, just as they enter the final straight of the season. Oh, that might be a penalty. Oh, unlucky. No. A wonderful run, though, by Marmoush. I tell you what. That was disgusting. He cuts inside Richards. Great little run. Dances past Lacroix. You know what? He's lucky. He's very lucky that Lacroix pulled out there. He pulled out of the tackle at the last minute. Very, very good chance for Marmoush getting into the box. He did well there. Nico O'Reilly down the right-hand side. So Brighton, I think Brighton have got a very good chance. Leeds 1, Preston 1. It's a big start in the early game. Yeah, Brighton have got a good chance. Fulham. Villa, I guess it depends what happens with them in Europe. Newcastle have already had a good season, haven't they? But I think if they could win the League Cup and finish in the top 5... Eddie Howe's, statues being smelted as we speak. Ben, morning mate. What score are you thinking? I think it's going to be a high scoring one, Ben. Or at least that's what I thought. The first 5 minutes have kind of persuaded me otherwise, actually. City are very, very narrow. We have had a couple of half chances in the opening 5 minutes. That's poor from Palace. Just about keeps it in. Yeah, I came into this thinking there might be goals. Maybe 2-2 was one of the shouts in the chat before the game. But I expect it might be a touch tighter now. Just seeing the way the game's set up. Maybe 1-1. Yeah, 1-1. 2-2 or 3-2 either way. Yeah, it just had the feel of one of them sort of end of season games where there's lots of goals. You know, it's a nice day at the Etihad, lovely sunny day. Players probably, some of them already. It's got a bit of a testimonial vibe for De Bruyne, hasn't it? It's mad, giving out like City are by no means guaranteed a top 5 place. Palace are in here. It's 1-0. It's 1-0. If that is onside, it's 1-0 Palace. It's Ebery Eze. And what did I say? He was the one who was going to score. Wonderful ball in. And Palace are 1-0 up here. Palace are 1-0 up. Get ready for the graphic. Get ready for the graphic coming on screen. The fancy graphic. Let's have a look at it. Hey, there it is. The fancy Crystal Palace graphic. Right. Palace are 1-0 up. It's a ball out wide. He's onside. Ooh, that might be snug. That one's fine. The second one is fine. Eze is definitely on. It's whether or not Ismaila Sarr is on. There's going to be a check on Ismaila Sarr. Great ball across, by the way. Wonderful cross. No danger at all. That second one is onside. It's fine. It's the first one. It's Ismaila Sarr. Pep Guardiola is head in his hands. Oliver Glasner, wonderful. The guy he's already being chased by a number of clubs. And Spurs being one of them, by the way. Oliver Glasner being touted by a number of reports this week saying that he was a favourite to take over at Spurs. But it's counting. It's 1-0. It's 1-0 already. Ebery Eze. Manchester City 0. Crystal Palace 1. Big start. You think I put 2 in my Super 6? Do you know what? I always forget to do Super 6. Always forget to do. In fact, I'm useless. I bought a Euro Millions last night for my birthday. I thought, do you know what? I'll buy a Euro Millions ticket. We were in a shop. I thought, go on, I'll buy one. So I might be a millionaire. Might be sat here as a millionaire. Doubt it, but I might be. Not even checked my ticket. Said I'm sat here with some mad Korean drink. Callum, just one more goal for Palace to give my prediction reality. I know, yeah, you said 2-0, didn't you? You called it. Although you did say Mateta and Sarr. See, let's all laugh at City downfall. Back to default settings before the oil money. Well, there was the news that came out earlier this week, wasn't there? There was the news that came out. I put a video about it on my channel on YouTube and on TikTok. That Manchester City, it had been confirmed that no matter what happens, I mean, there was reports that there would be some sort of a resolution, an outcome to the case, one way or another, before the end of this current Premier League season. Now that isn't happening. That can't happen. There's a deadline written into the Premier League rules that any punishment at all now, even if City are found immediately guilty, right? Immediately guilty, even if they're found guilty, that could only happen at the end of next season. So it won't. There will be no punishment this season. That has already been confirmed. I think it's a lot of it is a PR exercise now. That's what I believe it to be. I think City, there was rumours, again, this is all I have to say, it's alleged, but apparently City have appointed, restructuring, lawyers who specialise in staff restructuring, and there are meetings with staff planned towards the end of this month about I don't know, maybe redundancies or I don't know. I have no idea. This is just the reports that were coming out earlier this week. And again, I have to say, alleged, very much alleged, that City have appointed these lawyers that are specialists in restructuring. And if that's the case, that's a really odd move for a team that has maybe the biggest financial fair play profit headway. They are the best run team in the league in terms of profit and FFP headway. City are in here. Marmoush, it must be 1-1 chance. What a save. De Bruyne. Oh, what a block. It's Marmoush is now screaming at the linesman for a potential, maybe a red card. I mean, he gets there's a check here. There is going to be a check. Marmoush gets played through. This looks. I did think when he got put through here, this is definitely onside. No problem at all with the pass from De Bruyne. And when he gets through, Richards, there is a slight tug. There is a slight tug from Richards. I don't think it's enough though. I don't think that's enough. He grabs his arm and there's a pull, but there's going to be a check. There is going to be a check. The referee he's just done the whole, let's just check and point to the ear. Let's just wait. There is a check. No, check over. Game on. Game on. It's going to be a corner. De Bruyne are about to whip it in. Yeah, so apparently they've appointed restructuring lawyers, which will maybe shave 2 to 3% of their wage bill off. If they were to maybe make some redundancies and sort of move staff around a little bit. There's absolutely no way that any club with that much profit would need to do that. It's such a bad look for the club. So the only reason that you would think that a club like City would need to do that is if they're expecting quite a significant drop in revenue in the next 12 to 18 months, and that could only come, you would imagine, maybe from fines or civil cases, maybe maybe the Premier League keeps them in the Premier League and finds them guilty but doesn't punish them enough, in which case teams like Leicester, Ipswich, pretty much every Premier League club would have a case against City then to say, look, you've been found by an independent panel that you've broken the rules, and we have lost money as a result of that. So every Premier League club would have a case against City. Maybe even some Championship teams as well, to be honest. And teams who got relegated in previous Premier League years. And Liverpool and Arsenal, who've lost out on titles. And, other teams who've lost out on Champions League money because City were in it when they shouldn't have been. It's the cases against City, if they are found guilty, alleged charges, if they are found guilty, the cases are just massive. They are massive. So it honestly doesn't bear thinking about. Again, I just think it's a cloud hanging over English football, and I just think for City, as much as for English football, it's not just for City, but for everyone really, it just needs resolving and finishing as quickly as possible. I'm sure City fans are just as fed up of it as we are. Because everyone's saying, yeah, well done, by the way, you've got probably the best, one of, if not the best side in English football history, certainly up there in the conversation, but there's always a but, isn't there, with City? Tainted titles, breaking the rules, backhanders, da-da-da-da-da. So, for City's sake, I'm sure they would want that put to bed, to get themselves exonerated of all charges. And look, we didn't do anything wrong. We followed the rules, as City fans have maintained throughout, by the way. And if that's the case, then, you and I will have our opinions on whether or not that's true, but I think the lawyers just kind of have to do their job, but it's all very much alleged right now. It's just disappointing how long it's taking, isn't it? Callum the Red, good start to this game. It's Palace getting the early goal now, I think probably kills the game a little bit, because we're just going to see the game set up exactly as it is now. Palace aren't going to play too heavily on the counter-attack because they don't need to. They've got the goal. So they'll sit deep, they'll frustrate, and City will pass, and that'll be it. I actually think the next goal in this one... Oh, they're in again! Oh, I tell you what, it was so close. What was I saying? Palace aren't going to counter-attack heavy. Very nearly, they got through there. Ben, I like Munoz at Palace. Yeah, I think if he was younger, mate, he would be a prime candidate to replace Trent. I think he's 20, is he 27, 28? He's just kind of just outside the age profile that top clubs like. But I agree with you, he's a very, very good player. Very good player. Caleb, I've just played for Telford. Kept us in the game. Nice. Well done, mate. Passed through Telford last week, I think. I'm sure I went through Telford. Edward, hi Prem Dad, did you have a good birthday? I did, mate, yes, thank you. I did. I was sat next to I was telling everyone before, I'm going to keep saying it, but it's my little claim to fame. I was sat next to the entire Wrexham team at breakfast. Me and my missus, we was in the hotel, and Wrexham are playing Wigan in the 12:30. I don't know how they're getting on, actually. Let me have a look. Wrexham were playing Wigan in the 12:30. That's still 0-0. And they were staying in the same hotel as us. And when I came down for breakfast, Stephen Fletcher, James McLean, and Jay Rodriguez were all sat there having breakfast and stuff in the Wrexham training gear. And then all the other players came through. And I was gonna go over. I was like gonna go over and ask for a picture and stuff. Thought it might be good for the channel. Give the old channel a boost. Look at me, mingling with the likes of Wrexham. But yeah, I got a bit of stage fright because I didn't want to go over while I'm having the breakfast. It's a bit grim, innit? So I just left them to it. And then when I walked past and I was checking out a reception, a kind of little coward went over and said, "Oh, good luck today against Wigan, lads." But yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you. Sad act. Absolute sad act. I despise Man City, cheating oil club with zero history and no fans. If any big club should be eliminated, it should be them. Well, time will tell. Time will tell, see. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. Or maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just, they get a slap on the wrist, or maybe they'll get found that they've done absolutely nothing at all and there was no wrongdoing. It would have been great for the channel. I was genuinely, that was my plan, to get a picture, and then I was going to put a picture on YouTube and TikTok saying, "Here, look at me mingling with Wrexham, just giving them a few words of encouragement before the big away day at Wigan today." It actually is quite a big game. Wigan are right down the bottom. Wrexham need to win to stay ahead of Wycombe in the race for automatic promotion. Wycombe have got Stevenage. That's another 12:30 in League One. So yeah, it was a big day, big morning. And they were there shoveling pasta down the throat at 9 o'clock this morning. Couldn't believe it. Could never be a footballer, me. Can't eat pasta at the best of times. Carl in the Red, Palace could hammer these now. Corner ball in. Oh, it's 2. It's 2. It's Chris Richards. Oh my God, I assume that's what you were on about, Callum. It's 2-0. It's 2-0. It was a corner to Palace, and Ederson is not looking a happy bunny. It's 2-0. Pep Guardiola is looking very, very frustrated. He's cutting a concerned figure. I'm not sure what Ederson is doing here. Oh, he's nowhere. He's nowhere. Oh, he's punching fresh air. It's so bad. It's so bad. Ah, from a keeper as well. You'd need him to claim that. That is in your 6-yard area. That is as bad as anything Onana's done. That's bad. That is really bad. Callum, didn't think you would look at the chat before the goal went in. My bad. Oh, don't worry about it, mate. It's fine. I'm 30 seconds or so behind. It's fine. I don't tend to look at the chat all the time for that reason, just in case someone does put in, oh, there's a goal or whatever, because I don't have it on. I don't want notifications on. I don't want to know. But if I do find out before, I'll always say. Ben, score tomorrow, okay? I think we'll do West Ham 3-0. I think if we hadn't... I know it kind of hasn't got anything to do with it, but I think the mood around the club has changed massively just in the last few days because of the announcements about Salah and Van Dijk. I think after the Fulham game last week, I was incredibly nervous and I was feeling really... Again, I mean, I put a video out saying Liverpool are limping over the line in this title race. Liverpool are really, really struggling. We haven't looked right. It's not just the Fulham result. We haven't looked right for a number of months, going back to the Villa game away, the Southampton game at home, the Wolves game at home. You know, we won a couple of them games. We still didn't look right in them. We didn't look right against PSG away. We didn't look right against PSG at home. We haven't looked right, I would say, as a team for some months. I would say since maybe February. It's been a bad couple of months for Liverpool. De Bruyne, great block. Oh, he's hit the post. Oh my God, unlucky. And that might be a foul. Is that a foul? I'll tell you what, he's still got it. I don't know why. I hope he doesn't retire, and I hope he doesn't go to Saudi or the MLS. He's best player in this City team. He's the best player in this City team. I don't care what anyone says. There's nobody got ability like him. And in the right system, he could still be world class. It's not like he's got no legs. Like, I've not seen any evidence at all. He's like, you know, blowing out his arse and anything when he's running. He's fine. Like, he's still fit. He could play for another year or two in the Prem. Next season, us or Arsenal win the title. I don't see City near it again. Listen, City are they're gonna have a big rebuild. City, they're gonna spend a lot of money, depending on what happens with this hearing. But they are gonna spend a lot of money. That's a great ball into the chat. Palace are defending so well. They're defending really well. I might have to change my FA Cup prediction because I really thought Palace... I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm supporting Palace. I want Palace to win the FA Cup. But part of me has always said that I don't think they will. I think it's going to be one of the other three. Villa, Palace or Forest. I think Villa, Forest or City. I think Palace are the least favourites, but the one I want to win it the most. But the more I'm watching them, they're probably the form team out of those four, aren't they? Probably the form team. But yeah, I thought we were really, really poor for a number of months, and we haven't looked right. And after that Fulham game, I thought we were really struggling. We're gonna have a real problem on our hands trying to, you know, get this right again. And then Salah and Van Dijk announcements come out, and it just feels like the whole mood around the club has lifted a little bit. We've got Conor Bradley back in the team. You know, a couple of the other players have recovered. And I just think that, yeah, now I think we might do West Ham. Oh my God, Mateta's just skied it. It's not Mateta, it's Sarr, sorry. Sarr has skied it. That was very nearly 3-0 Palace. Very nearly 3-0 Palace. That would have been absolutely game, set, match. It just bobbles up in front of Sarr. He's maybe 7 or 8 yards out, and he skies it over the bar. That's unbelievable play by Palace. Get down the right wing, pulls it back. City are all over the place here. City are all over the place. Callum City actually could be away in bed here. They're very lucky. Yeah, absolutely. Ben, I think we need a top level left winger. Well, apparently there's rumours that... oh, here we go. They're down the left-hand side here. They're in again. Tyreek Mitchell, poor ball into the box, go straight through to Ederson. I think Diaz, as apparently there's been rumours linking him to Saudi today. Darwin Núñez, of course, as well. I don't know what's going to happen with Jota. He's maybe the only one that there's a little bit of uncertainty about. I expect we keep Jota for that reason. I'd be surprised if Jota left. But Núñez, Diaz, I think will go. I think Gakpo stays. And then, yeah, we probably do go out and get a top left winger. But I don't know who that is. I really don't know who that is. There's been a lot of links, hasn't there? There's been a lot of links to, yeah, number 9s. Obviously, you're saying that goes without saying we need a number 9. But we need a winger. I would agree with that, Ben. There's been loads of links to number 9s. Like we were linked with... we have been linked with Jonathan David, but we've been linked with Cunha. We've been linked with Isak. There was credible links with Isak in the last few days. I think it was Ben Jacobs who said the club have always planned. Oh, they're in again here, Palace. It's Eze down the left-hand side. He cuts inside. He finishes it. It's 3. Is he on? Is he on? Is he on? Is he on? If he's on, this is an unbelievable goal. He's saying no. He's saying no. He's saying he's onside. Let's see. Palace could be 3-0 up. That could be done and dusted. Game's done. He's on. He's on. I'm putting the scoreboard on. I'm not even waiting for the VAR check. It's there. It's 3-0. It's City 0. Palace 3. 30 minutes in. Unbelievable. He is onside. He is onside. Ben, I don't want Cunha, to be fair. He's not a proper number 9 for me. I absolutely love Cunha. He's a wonderful player. I'd love him at Liverpool. I'm not sure about he's not a left winger. He's not a number 9, but he's one of them players. Kind of like, has that been ruled out? That's been ruled out. I've got to take it off now. I've got to take the score off. Oh, I tell you what, Palace. There's something not right there. I didn't even see the VAR check. Didn't even see the VAR check. Yeah, I would love Cunha, whether he's playing left or centre, whatever, or as a number 10, slightly deeper. Gakpo does kind of the same role, doesn't he? So I would have Gakpo, I would have Cunha. Both of those can kind of float around. But you're right, I still think we'd need a left winger and a proper centre forward. In an ideal world, if I'm being dead honest, in an ideal world, I would sell Jota, sell Diaz, sell Núñez, and I would go and get Delap, Cunha, and I don't know, maybe Mbermo. I'd someone like that. There's loads of really talented left wingers. Got to go balls to the what? No, mate, we can't go and get Isak. We can't go and get Isak. He's so expensive for what he is. He is so expensive for what he is. I agree, a good player, but I don't think he's what we need. I want us to persist with Szoboszlai. Yeah. Szoboszlai, again, I feel like Szoboszlai is good for us defensively as much as he is attacking-wise. Like, he's a hard-working player. Kind of underappreciated as well. A little bit like Dirk Kuyt was for us. But he's still got ability and talent that we've maybe not unlocked. So I'd like to keep Szoboszlai. Yellow card from Kamada. City have got a free kick just outside the area here. It was a poor tackle, actually. Yeah. Stay away from Delap. I like Delap. Yeah, I really like Delap. Grealish as your left mid and a forward. I don't like Grealish. I don't like Grealish, and I don't think for 10, whatever they would charge for him, 29 as well, I wouldn't be having Grealish. He's not a player that I think fits Liverpool, to be honest. Callum, I'd rather Mateta's wonderful. Yeah, Mateta's wonderful. But again, how much are Palace charging for him now? And he's, again, age profile, he's not quite right. 27, age profile, not quite right. Isak is an exceptional player, but he's just too expensive. I would never justify paying 150 million for him. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne, what were we just saying? It's 2-1. It's Man City 1, Palace 2, and it's game on. And anyone who said this isn't going to have goals in it, we talked about 2-2, 3-2 in the chat. It's 2-1 after 32 minutes. The game has come to life. It's been a great start to the day. Wonderful start to Saturday's football. Again, just coming back to it, it's a wonderful free kick. In off the post. He sends it to the side the keeper should really be covering, to be honest. He goes away from the wall. He's a wonderful footballer, De Bruyne. And there you go. That is... Bet365 did a bet before the game. Everyone was pouring it on. I think they offered 2 or 3 to 1 for De Bruyne to have a shot on target. Like a super boost. Loads of people put it on. Max £10 bet I think you could put on. I didn't. I should have done. But there you go. Loads of people have put that on and they've come up trumps. Let me just catch up with everything. Szoboszlai's better off the ball. Oh, City are in again. De Bruyne. Oh, just wide. City are pushing now. City are pushing. Ball in. Chance. Oh, how's he missed it? McAtee. Oh, how's he missed it? Ooh. Hey, and Pep Guardiola's just turned around to the City fans and gone like that. He's just gone like that. Don't think he likes the reaction he's getting from the City fans. We've seen that before from him though, hasn't he? He's rubbed the City fans up the wrong way a little bit at times. But beggars can't be choosers, I guess. City fans have never had it this good. They'll never have it this good again. But this ball in, McAtee, oh, he's got to score. He's got to score. He's bang on the edge of the 6-yard line, smack bang in front of goal. Clear header, free header, puts it wide. Madness. Absolute madness. Wrexham still 0-0, got them in my acca. Wrexham's a team that my mate, honestly, he puts Wrexham on every other week. Every week, pretty much, in his acca, and they're always the team that lets him down. This is one of the best first halves of the season, I assume that was Callum. Yeah, it's been a good start, hasn't it? It's been a very good start. Edward, any other games you're doing today? Yes, mate. The 3 o'clock, I'm doing Forest against Everton. And then the 5:30 Arsenal against Brentford. So I'm live all day today. And I might even do... Let's have a look at the late. What's the late game? There's Bayern and Dortmund at 5:30 as well. I'd rather watch that, to be honest, than Arsenal. But no, we'll stick with Arsenal. And tonight there's not an awful lot going on. Leganés against Barcelona. There we go. Chance. Must be. Oh, City. Gotta be. It's 2. It's 2-2. It's Marmouche. Oh, there he is. Look at it. Look at Pep. Look at Pep saying, I'm telling you, Pep's he's having a go at them City fans. He's having a right go at them City fans. It's 2-2, just like that. Just like that, from 3-0 to 2-2. Yeah, incredible. And this is why City are such a good side. You can't switch off on them. You cannot switch off on him. There's no problem with that. He's not offside. He passes it through. Oh, he might be offside. De Bruyne might be offside. There's going to be a check. De Bruyne might be offside at the back post, I'm telling you. I mean, saying that, I thought Eze was miles onside, but De Bruyne certainly looks, let's call it checkable. It looks checkable to me. Wonderful finish from Marmouche. Is there going to be a check? Pep Guardiola now just giving it to the City fans. They don't like it. Glasner's now encouraging his players. Pep Guardiola looking manic. Well, there you go. It's been checked and cleared. It's 2-2. City 2. Palace 2. Not even at half time yet, man. Javier Swungu, 2 goals is all it takes to go to extra time in the quarterfinals against PSG. Score 1 more goal, 3-2, aggregate goal. Listen, Javier, I'd love to say you're right, mate. I would love to say you're right, but I can't see Villa beating PSG 2-0 at Villa Park. I can't. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you do, but I will be cheering you on, by the way, but I just don't think that that's going to happen. They're too good. They're a very good side, PSG. I can see it with Arsenal and Real Madrid, mainly because it's at the Bernabeu and because Arsenal have a history of bottling it, you know. Arsenal do have a history of bottling it. Plus, Real Madrid have a history of winning things. So, you know, they're a very, very good side. Maybe the best side in the world, or certainly up there. And I think they'll have a point to prove, and the fans will not let them lie down. There's no world I can see where Arsenal get a draw. Put it that way, I would stake my house, everything I've got. I've not got a house at the minute, but I'd stake everything I've got on Real Madrid beating Arsenal, whether it be 1-0 or 2-1 or whatever. They will be winning against Arsenal at some point in that tie. I promise you. I absolutely promise you. Claim for the handball. They're not going to get it. So yeah, if Real Madrid are winning at some point on the night, then the pressure, I think, will start to tell with Arsenal. Javier, I can see 4-1 at Villa Park. I think it might be a tight one. I think maybe 1-0. It'll be 0-0 for a really long period because PSG will just sit deep and defend, try and hit on the counter because they'll know that if they get 1 goal, it kills it. The tie's dead. Psychologically, Villa, your heads will drop if PSG score 1 goal, won't it? Let's be honest. 3-1 up. If PSG score 1, tie's done, isn't it? Kevin De Bruyne, done a Fabinho, looked finished till April and had a good run. Fabinho just all of a sudden... I've never known a player to have a drop-off like that. Never known a player to go from being like absolutely world-class in the position to... like... I mean, Casemiro, I guess, was similar at United. Casemiro went from being unbelievable at Real Madrid to looking like he was playing for the Dog and Duck. Dog and Duck against the Red Lion. Ben, not been a shot on target in 39 minutes, Wigan Wrexham. Not surprised. He was stuffing pasta down the throats at 9 o'clock this morning. Crazy. There's that offside, the Palace offside. I don't like that. Didn't look like it. Javier C. I know I'm being stupid about these scores, not likely to happen, but I'll always back my team, even if we lose. I'll be very happy quarterfinals. Listen, Villa haven't been in the Champions League for many, many years. Mate, enjoy every single second of it. Enjoy it. Nothing like hearing that music at your home stadium. Big Champions League nights. It's what you play. It's what you watch football for, isn't it? It's the stuff dreams are made of. Nico Riley. He's sensational, that Nico Riley. He's different gravy. He should be in the England squad already. So De Bruyne has scored 1, assisted the other, I think, pretty much. Or at least a hockey assist. Look at that again. That pass is silly from De Bruyne. He's still one of the best players in the league. I don't understand why there's even talk of him, retiring quietly to Saudi or anything like that. For me, he's still in the same sort of book as Salah and Van Dijk. Don't understand why he's not getting more teams chasing after him. I think Barca would go for De Bruyne. Imagine De Bruyne playing just off Rafinha and Yamal in that kind of Dani Olmo position. If they had De Bruyne there, Barca to clear up. Clear up. Leeds 2, Preston 1. Real Sociedad have just scored against Mallorca in La Liga. 42, KDB is finished. Retire. Oh, my Spain shirt's fallen over. Can't have that. Plymouth 0, Sheffield United 1. There you go. Sheffield United finally doing the business. Just as I stop backing them in the bets. They've let me down for weeks, Sheffield United. 42, what did you predict for this game? All I said really was I think there'd be goals in it and that Palace would get a draw. Palace or draw, I think I backed, and there to be goals. Everyone else in the chat seemed to think the same, to be fair. I think there was a couple of shouts for 2-2. Ben said 3-2 either way. So, yeah, I think everyone seemed to think... When it's the early kickoff and it's lovely, it's sunny, it's kind of the back end of the season, it just got a little bit of a testimonial vibe. There's always goals in these types of games. Javier, really hope Villa get through to the semis. Got 2 tickets to go with my older brother. Wow. Well, I hope you do. I hope you do. Because you might have Real Madrid. Imagine that. Imagine Villa against Real Madrid at Villa Park. Villa Arsenal. Even Villa Arsenal. If you were to get through. Villa against Arsenal at Villa Park for a place in the final. Bloody hell. 42, I captain Mateta in FPL. Needs something. I think Mateta... Did he play any part in any of the goals? I don't think he did he? No. Be absolutely scenes even if we lose. Listen, it's absolute scenes already. Quarter-final. For Villa to get to the quarter-final of the Champions League and you're in the semi-final of the FA Cup and potentially you might make the Champions League again next season if you qualify for it via the league. Unai Emery is doing bits, isn't he? Unai Emery's flying. Oh. I wouldn't recommend this drink. I just needed something to drink though. Oh. 42, I'm top 50k over. Need him to do something at least. I always start. I don't know if anyone else is like this with me. Like I start FPL with the best intentions. Like I'm gonna. You know, this is the year I'm gonna do it differently. I'm going to start and I'm going to pick my team every single week and I'm going to change it as I see fit and I'm going to, you know, make transfers and use my wild card and all that sort of stuff. After about game week 3, game week 4, I genuinely don't think I've touched mine since about game week 4, honestly. But that said, I have already had a request. What we've said we're going to do is we're going to create a Premier League Dad FPL league table and I'll do a giveaway for that. So I am absolutely game for next season we'll do an FPL league just for Premier League Dad members and community members or whatever. If you're in the chat a lot, if you come and watch the lives, if you're a subscriber, whatever, we'll do a Premier League Dad FPL and we'll do a giveaway for it at the end of the season. Whatever we determine that to be, it might be maybe shirts, maybe a shirt if someone wants a shirt, might merch. I've got bit of a breaking news. I've got Premier League Dad merch coming very soon. Hoodies and t-shirts. Maybe not hoodies just yet for summer, but hoodies will be better in winter. But yeah, nice t-shirts. Not rubbish either. De Bruyne, just over the bar. I'm going to say it's such easy interaction, especially with a prize. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. If it helps get the numbers up, great. But it'll probably just help me to stay engaged with it because I'll know that I have to. If I'm running it, I have to somehow stay involved with the league. Plus, imagine it's a Premier League dad league and I'm like somewhere close to the bottom. It'd be embarrassing. I've got to stay somewhere near the top. I've got to at least stay on, put a respectful fight up. Right, we're just approaching half time now. Got about a minute left. There was 3 minutes of added on time given. Still City 2, Palace 2. An unbelievable first half of football that we have seen here at the Etihad. I've got to say, around about the 30-minute mark, I thought that Manchester City were dead and buried. I thought it was 3-0 to Crystal Palace. I thought City they'd wiped the floor with City. They hadn't had a sniff. Apart from De Bruyne maybe hitting the post a few minutes before they scored, there was nothing from City. And then, bang, bang, free kick from De Bruyne, and then 2 minutes later they stick it in, they make it the equaliser. They're just such a good side. And you can't switch off on City. And I still think even next season, they'll go big in the summer, they'll go and spend money on probably Wirtz, Florian Wirtz at Bayer Leverkusen, that'll be a great signing. Ball in from De Bruyne, just a bit overhit. Yeah, it'll probably be Wirtz. So they'll have Wirtz, they'll have Foden, they'll have Savinho. I think maybe Doku might move on, Grealish might move on, so they might go and get a couple of wingers. Right, half time, there you go. City 2, Palace 2. What do we make of that, folks? What do we make of that? Chris Richards scoring his first goal for Palace to put them 2-0 up. It was Eze who scored first. Eze should have had a second, I've got to say. It was incredibly tight. Eze very nearly put Palace 3-0 up. But it was incredibly tight and it was ruled out for offside. And then 33rd minute, De Bruyne free kick. 36th minute, Marmouche drilled it in. And 2-2, out of nothing. Very quick. Javier Swungu, well, we're 7th on 51, but when we win today, we'll be 5 if City win. City tie will be 4th. Who have you got today? Who have you actually got? I've not seen who Villa are playing. Oh, Southampton, yeah. Oh, yeah, you'll win today. You'll win today. So if you win, and let's say this stays as it is, if you win, you go to 54. So you'd go above City. You'd go above Newcastle, but you'll have played 2 games more than Newcastle. And you'd go above Chelsea, who play... Who Chelsea got? Who Chelsea got this weekend? Ipswich. Chelsea got Ipswich tomorrow, haven't they? 42. Wirtz is linked heavily to Bayern. Do you know what? It frustrates me that every time there's a player in the Bundesliga who isn't playing for Bayern who starts doing well, they always get linked to Bayern. Always get linked to Bayern. Javier need Palace to win or tie here. I think they will do. It's looking quite good, to be fair. City haven't been brilliant. They've just turned it on in the last 10 minutes or so, which we know City can do. And goals change games, and it has just come from a moment. Kevin De Bruyne, free kick. If that free kick, goes wide or hits the post, chances are it's probably still Palace 2-0 at half time because they don't have that momentum to kick on. It's a Kevin De Bruyne goal out of nothing that has sparked this comeback. Unbelievable. Right. Give me a sec. I'm nipping the loo very quickly. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Right, I'm back. Let me just plug my charger in. Right, see Man U the other day. I did see Man U the other day. Yeah, it was a fabulous game. Again, another one similar to this, wasn't it? Let's be honest. Callum, this game has proper prime Barclays about it. Yeah. Different class, innit? Oh, what's going on now? Hi Lucas, how's it going? What is going on here? For some reason my TV's not. Oh, okay. Panic there for a second. Don't know why, but TV's gone down. Come on. Right, give me 2 secs. Let me try and fix this. Tell you what. Right. I know what the problem is. Come on. Nearly kicking off for the second half here. Having an absolute disaster. Don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. TV just keeps rebooting. Must have a... Let's try again. Let's try and reboot it, see if anything happens this time. Right, I know what the score is. 1 second. Tell you what. Good job I've got some sort of technical brain in me. Right, this time it's gonna work. Thanks for liking the live, Ernest. How you doing? Good to have you in. We're back on for the second half now, thankfully. Yeah, there you go. Up there for thinking, down there for dancing and all that sort of stuff. Right, I think we're off for the second half now as well. Very nearly missed that then. Let me shut the door. Okay. Right, we're finally fixed. We're finally back up and running. We're actually working again. And the game is about to kick off for the second half. Apologies for the delay there. I now know what caused that issue, so it won't happen again. So what do we think to the second half there then, by the way? Sorry, the whole technical issues has thrown me. Let's get back to chatting about the game. What do we think to the second half here? Do we think that Chelsea? Do we think that Palace can get back in front? Can they recover, I guess, from this? Because to go 2-0 up, and basically, I mean, effectively they went 3-0 up, didn't they? For a moment there, it looked like Palace were going to be 3-0 up. For them to go 3-0 up or 2-0 up, effectively, and then to be pegged back to 2-2 by half time, you know, I think that would destroy a lot of teams mentally, wouldn't it? It would just put you on the back foot. So, are they going to come out here second half maybe a little bit bruised? Maybe their egos had a little bit of a punching. Maybe City come out and they waltz it now. City have got all the momentum going into this second half, you'd have to say. Or the Palace come out renewed, fighting. Lots to see. Lots to see in this second half. Let's see. Let's see. Just watching the goals back now. Wonderful first ball in. Oh no, this is the missed Ismail Assar chance. Really got to put City away there. This is the thing. This is a crucial thing with City. If you miss big chances like that, Will Hughes is about to come on for Palace. Who's he coming on for? Maybe Kamada? Surely Kamada, actually. Kamada's got to come off. He's on a booking and he's playing in a midfield position that's really unfamiliar to him. Will Hughes is definitely the player for that position, isn't he? Definitely. Do we think, another side question, I guess, to all this, do we think that if City are punished, what would be the punishment most likely to be applied? Because, again, there's lots of talk about this. Do we think that City would get points in the same way that Everton and Forest have? Do you think they get points taken off them? If so, how many? I mean, Everton got, was it 10 points deduction and then it got reduced? Forest got like 2 or 3, was it? With some points suspended. Does City get points? Or, because you've got to remember, this is the other factor to this, by the way. This is the other factor to all this that's got to be considered. If the Premier League find Manchester City guilty, the Premier League then also has to admit that maybe because the date of the charges runs from 2009 to 2018, and City won the league 3 times in that period. But some of the charges that have recently been added on extend right up to the end of the financial year, I believe, 23-24. So what they're effectively saying is that for 15 years, from 2009 to 2004, 2024, 2024, City are in here, chance! Well done, that's wonderful defending by Maxence Lacroix. 2009 to 2024, that Manchester City have been breaking the rules. Again, alleged, if this is the outcome, the Premier League would find them guilty, assuming they are, and then the Premier League would have to openly acknowledge that their league has been an absolute disaster for 15 years plus. And they are the panel, they are the body, the organisation that adjudicates that is responsible for governing that. And for 15 years, it hasn't been right. City down the left, there must be a chance. O'Reilly, shot, it's 3. Oh, that was wonderful play. It's Kovacic. And we're barely 90 seconds in. We are 90 seconds in to the second half, and Manchester City are 3-2 up. It's a wonderful goal. It's a fabulous goal, actually. Brilliant from Manchester City. It's a great ball. Oh, might be tight. There might be a check. Nico O'Reilly down the left-hand side. We've had a couple of kind of offside, might be onside, very, very close in this game, and so far they've gone in City's favour. Eze's goal was ruled out. De Bruyne was ruled onside earlier, and this one might just be tight again. It's a wonderful finish from Kovacic. Again, a wonderful setup from De Bruyne to Kovacic. A great goal. Fabulous goal. Is he onside though? Is there a check? It's confirmed. It's 3-2. There you go. Manchester City 3. Crystal Palace 2. 2 minutes into the second half, and we've got our answer to the question we were pondering at half-time. Will Palace come out and get straight back to it, or will City have all the momentum here? And yeah, you go. That's what we've seen. Yeah, so just coming back to the whole City agenda thing and whether or not they actually, what punishment they get, assuming they're found guilty. I actually don't think they get points. I don't think they get points. I think the Premier League would be very, very hesitant to announce and admit that a side under their governance has been responsible for corruption or, lying or failing to produce documents or whatever. I would... I mean, that's what the charges relate to, isn't it? The charges ultimately relate to... They've lied about how much they've paid managers and players. That's what most of the charges relate to. And then they've lied about how much they've paid managers and players, lied about how much they've got for sponsorship and where that money has come from. That's part one. And then the other part is they've refused to cooperate with UEFA and the Premier League, and every time the UEFA and the Premier League have said, hang on a minute, this doesn't seem right, and can you provide us evidence of this? They've just gone, nah. Not doing it. Not doing it. So I just think the Premier League, as much as they probably do want to throw the book at Manchester City, I don't think they will. Yeah, I don't think they'll want to. So I'm sure there'll be anger, there'll be frustration, there'll be other clubs. Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea. Well, actually, Chelsea are on Man City's side, aren't they? Chelsea, Newcastle and Man City are kind of all on the same side. Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, and most other clubs are not, is from what I understand. Oh, that's very tight. Nico O'Reilly was just onside. Very, very tight. It's good to see the semi-automated VARs working a lot better. They're a lot faster, aren't they? They're a lot faster. We're seeing that already. So yeah, so I think what we'll see is chance, just over the bar from James McAtee. He's had so many chances today. He should have scored at least one. That should have been maybe 4-2 City, and that might have been done and dusted. Yeah, I think what we'll see probably with City is, at some point, their lawyers probably will advise them, look, let's front foot this. Let's stop denying everything, and let's get around the table with these guys. Let's get around the table and start sorting out a negotiation about how we end this. How can we just end this? How can we put it to bed altogether? Because the only people benefiting at this point are the lawyers. The lawyers getting paid thousands of pounds per hour for working on these cases. At some point, it's just a cloud hanging over English football, and both City and the rest of the Premier League will just want it done. Just done. So, I think they might just say, do you know what, let's start. Let's concede that we've done some things we shouldn't have done, and let's concede that they'll let us off with some of those things, and maybe we agree a punishment that is not ideal, but better than what we might have got if we keep denying it. So, and the Premier League can come out looking like they've really punished City. City will look like they've been punished, but probably won't have been punished anywhere near as bad as they actually should have been. And everybody wins. Everybody wins. That's how I think this whole affair ends. I think we end up maybe with City with a points deduction, but maybe only a small one. Probably a points deduction that keeps them in the Premier League, but maybe keeps them out of Europe for a year. Maybe. So I would say that is probably what we're going to see. I think City get a points deduction, and I think they get a transfer ban. And that's why they're tying players like Haaland and others to 8-year contracts. Because if they're on big, long contracts, they're not going to be poached away. So I think that's what they're anticipating. A lot of what City's actions are, you can kind of already sense that they are just a little bit nervous about what might happen. So I would expect that's what we see. I think a City transfer ban, a big fine, and a points deduction that's only minor, that's maybe only 20 points, let's say, that leaves City finished in the bottom half but not relegated. That's what I think. Xavier, just one more Palace goal, last minute, get the draw. I think it's going to be all City now. There's not really an awful... Again, I said that in the first half, so I could be very easily be wrong. But City are playing very well here. Just been caught late there, Kovacic. It's a yellow card from Peter Banks. 42. Were you ranking KDB all-time Premier League players? Oh, I love KDB. Love him to bits. Fabulous player. I would rank him somewhere in the top 10 midfielders. I think if I'm talking top 10 midfielders in Premier League history, he's in there. Yeah. The problem with De Bruyne is it's difficult because you can't put him like in central midfield. He's not a central midfielder, and he isn't. I don't think he's a wide player either. You need to play a system with a 10. And if we're talking just number 10s in the Premier League, I don't know if Coutinho's better. Again, shorter peak. I know that's going to be controversial, but Coutinho was so good. Coutinho was unbelievable. At his peak for Liverpool, for a good 2 years, that guy was unplayable. He was unbelievable. He went 140 million to Barcelona. Like, you don't get that fee for being just okay. The guy was sensational. Coutinho was incredible. He really was, mate. He was so good. Coutinho was unbelievable. He is one of, in my opinion, he's one of the best. Like, if I'm making my favourite Liverpool 11 of all time, Coutinho gets in it. I've never enjoyed watching a player so much as Coutinho and Gerrard just behind him. Just fabulous players. Fabulous players. I love De Bruyne, though. I do love De Bruyne. They're in again here, City. Oh, McAtee should score. It's done. It's 4-2. He's finally got the goal that his performance has probably deserved, and he does an odd backflip and nearly breaks his ankle. And they're all rushing to Ederson because it was a fabulous long kick from Ederson. It must just be a Brazilian goalkeeper thing, because Alisson gets like 3 to 4 assists a season. Ederson's the same. They're just so good at spotting players from distance. Is he onside, though? Oh, he's miles off. He's miles off. This is going to be ruled out. I'm taking it off. He's offside. He's offside. Bruno is better. No, he's not. Bruno is not even in the same league as Kevin De Bruyne or Coutinho. He isn't. Mate, he's offside. He is offside. If that is given, I don't know what the offside rule is anymore. Because I thought Eze was clearly onside, and he was off, apparently. I thought De Bruyne looked offside. He was on. And this one looks miles offside to me. So I would be astonished if this is given. It's been checked and cleared. Did anyone else see that? Am I going mad? He was offside. Like, it wasn't tight. He was off. Harry Maguire level 5, swear that was off. Yeah. That looked to me like he was miles off. Not even just like Like, you can tell, when it's close, like, fine, oh yeah, maybe his shoulder or whatever. He looked a good foot offside. Yeah, that honestly, I'd love to see that back. And do you know what? Do you know what as well? This is the other thing with this, like, automated, semi-automated offsides to try and speed these offsides up. This is the thing I don't like about it, because, I mean, some people would argue the referees don't always get them right either, but I'd rather the 90-second check or the 2-minute check and drawing the lines and all that sort of stuff. Because these semi-automated VARs, you don't know when the ball has left their foot. You know, you don't see that. You just see the line and where it's drawn. But if it's 2 frames back, you never know. It's difficult to say. Like, Ederson plays that pass, and at the moment he plays that pass, when they froze the frame on TNT Sport, he looked a good foot offside. So the fact he's given onside there is baffling to me. I don't really understand it. And it's not like we've not seen these systems malfunction. It wasn't that long ago, was it? Villa Park, where the ball went in. It was Sheffield United, wasn't it? Ball went in through. It's 3, 4, 5. Must be. I tell you what. Kevin De Bruyne. What a player. What a player he is. It's a wonderful ball. It's a great ball. De Bruyne's through on the right-hand side, and every other Premier League player at that point probably checks back and pulls it back to the edge of the area. Not Kevin De Bruyne. So much whip straight across the face of goal, and Marmoush has a tap in. He hits it straight at Dean Henderson. It's poor from Marmoush, actually. He should finish that. That's all about Kevin De Bruyne. He has been sensational today. If this is his farewell tour, it's going all right. See, this is what I mean by Man City cheating oil club. City paying the Premier League. I don't think they'd be paying the Premier League to finish in 4th. I think, to be honest, the game has swung in City's favour, and I don't think it's entirely down to offsides, but the offside, and the Eze one, actually, both of them, but that one definitely concerns me. As I say, we've seen systems malfunction before. The referees watch in the Sheffield United Aston Villa game at Villa Park, where the ball went in. Do you remember that? And it was like miles over the line. The goalkeeper was holding the ball in the net, and then he got out of the net and just carried on and played. And Sheffield United were like, it's a goal. He carried it over the line, and the ref just played on. But the ball was in the net, and it was discovered after the game that his watch hadn't gone off, and it should have gone off. That the ball had crossed the line comfortably. So if systems can malfunction and goals, that's a simple one, isn't it? Did the ball cross the line? And it was a good 2-3 foot in the net, actually, that one. And that one wasn't discovered. Then when we're talking about inches with offside decisions, how easy is it for them to get that wrong? How easy is it for that to malfunction? How easy is it for them to draw the lines from the wrong frame when the pass didn't leave his foot? So maybe it's a frame later, frame sooner. Is it, how big are the lines? That's the other thing as well. How big are those lines? Here, this is the check. No chance. It's a wonderful pass. I'm sorry. When they look at that now, they're saying that offside, that line that they've drawn there, he's well onside. McAtee, it's not even close. He is well onside. But when we saw the frame where Ederson actually, the ball left his boot, he was off. Here's Ben Chilwell coming on for City. Maxence Lecoq for Palace, sorry. For Palace. Ben Chilwell coming on for Palace. And Nathaniel Klein coming on as well for Palace. Lacroix and Tyrick Mitchell going off. So it looks like Palace are just kind of resting up now. We're in the last half an hour, and it looks to me like Palace are maybe conserving energy and taking these players off. They've no interest in the game, competing for this anymore, and who blames them, to be honest? Oh, camera's gone. Do lally. Right, we're back. Javier, a few problems today. Oh, tell me about it. To be honest, it's my own fault. It is my own fault. It's because it was my birthday yesterday, and usually I'll at least kind of prep things an hour or so before, but I only got back from the hotel late. Oh, De Bruyne has caught Eze there. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Can you see? Are they going to show it us again? Is there a check? Anything? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, mate, I had a really good one. Yeah, really, really good one. I'll say it again. It'll be the third time I've said it on this stream now, but I am going to keep dining out on it. The Wrexham team were in the same hotel as us. So when I came down for breakfast this morning, I didn't know about it. I just came down for breakfast, and me and the missus were like walked into the breakfast room, the lobby sort of thing, and Stephen Fletcher, Jay Rodriguez, and James McLean were all sat at a table. Having breakfast, and I was so tempted to go over and get a picture, but I didn't want to disturb them. I thought they'd be maybe prepping before the game, and all the other players were there coming over as well, so it was a bit like I didn't want to go over and be that guy, you know. Excuse me, guys, can I have a picture, please? So I just left them to it, and then we went back to the room after breakfast, checked out, got our stuff, walked back over, and as I was walking out, I said, again, played the coward route. I went, good luck today against Wigan, guys. And they went, oh yeah, thanks, mate. I think they're still 0-0, to be honest. Kane, what a game. It has been a good game, hasn't it, mate? Yeah, it's been a really good game. I was kind of hoping that... Look at the Palace fans in the away end there. Palace are bouncing. They're doing the Poznan. Absolutely bouncing. They're having a great day. They don't care. FA Cup semi-final. And they were nearly 3-0 up against City at the Etihad. Javier, that's mint. I would have loved that, to be fair. Yeah, it was good, actually. Oh, it's City fans doing the Poznan. Yeah, I was made up, actually. Should have grabbed Fletcher's ears and lifted him up. He's a big lad, him. He's quite a big lad. I mean, I'm not necessarily an imposing figure, you know what I mean? But he's tall. But yeah, they were all there. What score is Wrexham? I think last time I looked it was still 0-0. And it is still 0-0. Wigan 0, Wrexham 0. Wrexham haven't had a shot on target. Is Stephen Fletcher even in the lineup? Nope. Jay Rodriguez is off the striker. James McLean on the left. Stephen Fletcher is on the bench. Oh, he's just come on, Stephen Fletcher. How old is he now? 38! 38? I thought he looked old. Pete Cech could be the most underrated right back in history. That's an odd one from you, isn't it? Oh, that's a naughty one, sir. Yellow card for, is it Marmouche? No, McAtee. He's dove in on him a bit there. Yeah, that was a little bit naughty, that, from McAtee. Great turn from Lerma. Ooh, yeah, leaves one on him. Yeah, he was a good right back, Pete Cech. He was a good right back. I'm not going to deny that. Well, we've certainly had a big, high-scoring game to start us off in the Premier League today. We are getting ready for the big 3 o'clocks. Southampton against Aston Villa. I think everyone's expecting Aston Villa there, aren't they? Brighton against Leicester. I think everyone's expecting Brighton there, aren't they? And the game that we're going to watch at 3 o'clock, if you're sticking around, if you are going to stick with us, hopefully you do, the 3 o'clock is Nottingham Forest against Everton. So we're going to be doing a watch-along on Forest and Everton. There's not really been an awful lot that's happened here since City went 4-2 up. Ederson has just gone down. It looks like a muscle strain, and Ortega is getting ready to come on for City. So they're changing the goalkeeper. There's about 20 minutes left here. About 20 minutes left. And yeah, there's not been an awful lot to report. The game is effectively done and dusted, I would say. City have played well, certainly in this second half. They've come out and put Palace to bed. They did very well to turn it around after going 2-0 down, nearly 3-0 down in the first half. So good play by City. You can just see there, Ederson, as soon as he kicked that ball, he pulled up. You can see he's pulled his muscle. So he'll go off. Ortega will come on. Change for City. And we'll see. We'll see how that affects things. I don't think it will affect them too much, to be honest. Kane, it's because I've just done a Bayern v Dortmund 11 between 2008 and 2025. Ooh, that's a big one. So you've got to have, surely, are you putting in Robben and Ribery on the wings? Or have you gone Royce? Surely that's Robben and Ribery. I mean, to be honest, I think the front three picks itself, doesn't it? Robben, Ribery, Lewandowski. I mean, Kane has probably got a very good shout, but you could also argue that Mane's got I would argue Mane's a better player than Ribery, but Mane wasn't as good at Bayern Munich, so you can't really win. Robben, Ribery, Lewandowski, yeah. Midfield 3. Midfield 3, that's tough, isn't it? Thiago. Probably Thiago. Maybe Kroos. Thiago, Kroos. Gundogan. Thiago, Kroos, Gundogan. That would be my midfield 3, maybe. And then my back 4. Your goalkeeper, Neuer, that picks itself. Your back 4, you'd go probably Lam, Hummels, who could have played for both. Lam, Hummels, Subotic. I went for an unbalanced midfield 3. Only one of them were in. Bloody hell. I'll have a look at your video in a bit, mate. But yeah, there's a good few I would have gone for there. It's a tough pick, that. Be an interesting game, that one tonight, Bayern against Dortmund. Truth be told, I would rather watch Bayern against Dortmund than Arsenal against Brentford, but I am, I'm Premier League dad, so I've got to watch Premier League games. I can't be watching. Maybe I do Bundesliga dad at some point, if there's time. When this one flaps, a lot of controversial players in there. Yep, I can imagine. Who's your goalie? Oh, Neuer, surely. I was going to say, I just thought you like a little controversial pick, so I wouldn't. Maybe you went for Weidenfeller or someone like that. I'll tell you who is a shout. Kagawa or Aubameyang. You've probably put Kagawa in, haven't you? Because he's a United player, or Mkhitaryan. Both of them were very good, by the way, but Moroccan centre-back. The Moroccan centre-back for who? Who's the Moroccan centre-back? The only Moroccan centre-back I know is a Gerd from on loan at West Ham. Is he at Valencia at the minute? Or he's in Spain. I can't remember where he went to. I'm sure it's Valencia. Naif Agurd. Bayern, he was world class. He wasn't Moroccan, was he? Was he Algerian? Mehdi Benashia. Bayern, he was world class also. I'm sure he was Algerian. Mehdi Benashia, whoever, whatever, one of them two. Right, we've got 15 minutes left of the game. There's not an awful lot going on. I'll level with you guys. There really isn't an awful lot going on, so we're just having a chinwag, a little chit-chat about other things in football. We've already covered off a lot in this game. Manchester City and the charges. What do we think would happen if there are any charges to be applied to Manchester City? We already know, having heard the news earlier this week, that Manchester City, any charges that might come about as a result of the alleged breaches of financial fair play, any charges at all, now cannot be applied in this Premier League season. That ship has sailed. There can no longer be any punishment for Manchester City this season. There is no chance that they get relegated, which is going to come as a disappointment to a number of clubs, including the teams down the bottom. You know, your Ipswiches, your Leicesters, and maybe the teams that City finish above in the Champions League race as well. You know, I'm sure they'll be looking at this and going, we should have qualified for the Champions League if they had been punished more severely. But we already know that now can't happen. It's written into the Premier League rules that because this length of time has passed in the season, we are past a point where the punishment could be applied now. It can only be applied the season after next, effectively. So, we're not likely to see a resolution to this anytime soon. City, this is going to drag on. Sadly. We might see a punishment, we might see, and this has been mooted before, we might see Manchester City found guilty, or not guilty, as the case may be, but let's say they are found guilty, but no punishment is applied immediately. Maybe it's like in court cases when you see people are often found guilty and then they are, remanded in prison until sentencing is passed. So no sentence is actually given at the time they are found guilty, and it might be the same here. I expect we'll see City found guilty or not, as the case may be. I expect there'll be some sort of a decision in the case, but no punishment applied immediately. And then we talked about whether or not points would even be a punishment. Would that be a punishment? Would the Premier League look at Manchester City as, these are our standout team over the last 15 years. If we punish them and relegate them for foul play and, corruption effectively, if we punish them for that, then we're also admitting that our brand, the Premier League, it's massively damaging to the Premier League brand, because for 15 years, there or thereabouts, the star team, the team that has won 5-6 league titles during that period from 2009 to 2024, however many league titles it is, for them to have won all that, they've done so under the governance of the Premier League and then being found guilty of corruption. So that's massively, massively damaging. In the same way that it was for Serie A with the betting scandal in the mid-2000s when Juventus got relegated, and lots of other clubs got slaps on the wrist as a result of that. So I think there's maybe a discussion going on. That's my guess. I think there's a discussion going on now, a settlement between maybe Manchester City's lawyers and Premier League lawyers to see exactly what is happening. And if maybe some discussion could be had about what any prospective punishment might be, should they be found guilty of some charges. Again, there's also the chance they might be entirely exonerated and are found not guilty of anything at all. Because City have remained steadfast in that point, haven't they? City and the fans have said all along, we've done absolutely nothing wrong. We've played by the rules. We've never once, been guilty of any of the things that you're alleging we're guilty of. And we don't even recognise your ability to find us guilty anyway. You don't have any power over us, blah, blah, blah. There you go. That's 5. That's 5-2. What a finish. And it's Nico O'Reilly again. Nico O'Reilly. What a finish that is. What a player. What a fabulous player. Nico O'Reilly, Manchester City 5, Crystal Palace 2. We thought there'd be goals today, and goals indeed there are. 5-2. It's a great game. And it's a great goal. Left foot, opens his body up just nice, on the volley. Difficult one that as well, because it comes to him quite quickly, but he opened his foot up and just guided it into that bottom corner. It does take a deflection. It does take a deflection, but don't take too much away from it. To get the shot away, it was going on target, Nico O'Reilly is better than Lewis Skelly. I don't think England are going to be in too much trouble with those left-back slots, are they? Let's be straight. Lewis Skelly and Nico O'Reilly there. 2 very, very talented players. Very, very talented players. Lewis Skelly's a good player, though. He is a good player. I'm not sure if Nico O'Reilly's better than him. But, good player. Adam Wharton's not been at it today. I think part of that is probably the fact that he's not had a solid midfielder alongside him for most of the game. He's had... so we've got Franca and Devaney coming on, I think, for Palace now. Adam Wharton usually has Lerma alongside him and a proper defence behind him. Gay, Lacroix, Richards. Today, Lerma had to drop back into defence and Wharton ended up with Daichi Kamada alongside him. And you get the feeling he probably doesn't enjoy playing alongside him all that much. So, last 10 minutes. Are there any more goals to come in this one, do we think? Ball in, cleared away. No. Oh, that's a great ball. Palace are in down the left-hand side. Good ball across. Great push behind. It's offside. From Ben Chilwell, who got forward there really, really well, actually. And I'm not sure who it is who puts it behind. Is it Luis Diaz? Ruben Diaz. Not Luis Diaz. Ruben Diaz. Savinio and Oscar Bob about to come on. This is big. Omar Marmoush coming off. Kane, he is. I'm good. I'm telling you, would be a good battle if it wasn't for Guardiola. He would start. I think we might see Gvardiol move to centre-back. I really do. I mean, Gvardiol's played at centre-back today. McAtee comes off. He's finally got the goal that his performance perhaps deserved. Don't worry, I was on about City v Palace next season when I said 2-0. You could just, honestly, you could just tell today there was going to be goals in this. I don't think I would have predicted 7, but... We knew there was going to be goals today. It's come out today. Newcastle want Cunha, but he has prioritised Manchester United. It's come out today. Come on, Kane. I don't believe for a second that Cunha has prioritised Manchester United. Again, This is all just agent rumours, transfer rumours. You can't put any stock in it at all because If Cunha gets an offer from a team that's playing Champions League football next season, he is taking it. He isn't choosing Manchester United over a team that's gonna play Champions League. He just isn't. It's just not happening. Seeing Man City win infuriates me. Yeah, I don't love Man City winning. It kind of sucks the soul out of football a little bit, doesn't it? Kane, I think he's a better football player than Skelly. I don't disagree with that. I think it's close, let me say that. I think both are very, very good young players, and for different reasons, both will probably play in the England squad, maybe in slightly different positions. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if we saw Nico O'Reilly pushed into midfield, or maybe Lewis Skelly pushed into midfield. Kane, well, it's from Ben Jacobs, and he's tier 1. Again, even Ben Jacobs has to make money. And Ben Jacobs, as most other journalists do, will push things that may or may not be true. Because no one remembers him anyway. No one's going to remember that Ben Jacobs said he's prioritising Manchester United. I am almost certain that Cunha does not join Manchester United in the summer. If they win the Europa League and they have Champions League football next summer, then yes, I think he might do. But Cunha, Delap, neither of them join Man United. The only reason I say that as well is because if you're an agent or you're a player's family member, I can't think of a club I would recommend less than Manchester United right now. If you're looking for a club that is going to help your career, forget the fact that the badge and the brand and all that stuff. Yes, it would look great on your CV, right? But let's be straight. Chance here for Palace. That's wonderful play. Straight across the face, a goal. Very nearly. Was it Franca there at the back post? Unlucky. Very unlucky. Good play by Palace. Nearly 5-3 there. I can't think of another club that I would recommend less than Manchester United. If you're a very good young player, you want a team that is settled behind the scenes, that is with a manager that is fairly well established at the club. Shot, just over the bar, unlucky. Oh no, it's come back out. That's another corner to Palace. Can you imagine another Højlund, for example? Rasmus Højlund is a player who's joined a club at 20, 21, however old he is or was. Paid £80 million for him, one of the best young strikers in Europe. Guy's ruined his career. Oh, they've skied it. Guy's ruined his career. You could say the same about Anthony. The way the club has handled young players in the last 10 years leaves a lot to be desired. And I think Cunha will have options, Delap will have options, and I just think if you were to look at the whole pie, the whole piece, I like, even taking off my anti-Liverpool bias hat, I just can't see how Cunha would choose Manchester United unless he has got no other options. The story has come out from Fabrizio that Cunha doesn't care if United do or don't have Europe. And it's come out multiple clubs are ready to approach United for Rasmus. But it's whether the finances, the whole finances can work. If Rasmus is sold, he's not going to be sold for anywhere close to the 80 million or whatever it was that you paid. Plymouth 2, Sheffield United 1. Please, I am sure I stayed away from that for that reason. I do not like Sheffield United at the minute. I'm so glad that they're falling away. So glad they're falling away. They've been dreadful for so long. I don't know why, but I can see him at Lazio. Well, Lazio's a bit all over the place at the minute. I could see him going to Lazio. But again, Italian clubs aren't stupid. Any club that takes Rasmus Højlund will take him on a, loan with an option deal. Or maybe a loan with an obligation, but it's a very small fee. It's the same sort of thing with Anthony. Anthony will go for a quarter of what you paid for him. The same with Rasmus. And United haven't got money to burn. They haven't got money to burn. And 60 million quid on Cunha, which you're going to have to pay up front, by the way. That's the other thing. Cunha is 60 million quid because he's got a release clause. But because it's a release clause, that means it all has to be paid up front. There's no spreading it across, the length of a contract, as you can do with other things. Like United, didn't Joshua Zirkzee have a £32 million buyout clause or something like that? I'm sure I read that. Joshua Zirkzee had a £32 million buyout clause last summer, and Manchester United paid 37 or 38 or something like that, so that they could say, look, will you let us spread this across the length of the contract? We don't want to pay it all up front. So it's that stuff. If United were doing that last season, they'll probably be doing it this season as well. Prem Dad, I love you, bro. Love you too, mate. Love you too. Kane, I think United will pay 45 for Cunha, but pay add-ons of more over a few years. But his buyout's 60, isn't it? His buyout is 60. Wolves aren't going to let him go for 45. Ooh, that was a bit naughty. Good play by Chilwell. Oh, and then he gives it away. Yeah, there you go. Cunha's release clause is 62.5 million. So there's just... And the release clause, any release clause in a contract indicates you have to pay the full amount up front. That's how it works. Which I think will preclude Manchester United from Cunha. He won't be able to leave for that amount of money. What I mean is United will pay more than his release clause, but spread over 2 years. Oh. So they probably have to pay more, like 70. So you're going to pay £70 million for Matthias Cunha. Again, I just don't... I don't know where United have got that money. I don't think United have got that money. So you're not... Unless you get Champions League football, I can't see you spending £70 million on one player. That would... That's just not in United's funding to do. They're sacking the catering staff, mate. They're sacking players, they're sacking staff at the club to try and reduce the wage bill by 1 to 2%. They're getting players out, and I can't see a world where Man United pay 70 million for someone. Unless they've got some assurances of Champions League football. No Champions League football changes everything for United. Even if Cunha would be interested, let's say I'm wrong, and United would... Oh, sorry, let's say Cunha would be interested in Manchester United. Doku's away here. Yeah, let's say Cunha would be interested in Manchester United without Champions League football. I still don't think the club could get it done. At 70 million quid, that's a lot of money. It's to comply with FFP. If we pay 35 first year, 35 second, it looks better to FFP. Yeah, but what? Maybe. But even then, mate, that's still a lot of jiggery pokery. That is a lot of messing around. That is a lot of balancing. And again, it precludes Man United from a lot of other things you want to do. Cunha isn't the be-all and end-all. If you was to sign Matthias Cunha, there's still probably 4, 5, maybe 6 positions you need to cover. And that's putting a lot of your eggs in one basket with one player. I think United have got a budget for this summer. And within that budget, it's maybe 25 to 30 million. per player, and they could maybe go to 40 for some or 50 for some at a push if it's spread right. But yeah, I just think Ruben Amorim's going to make a lot of changes, and he's going to have to be very, very ruthless, and he's going to need the club to back him as well. He's going to need the club to support him in getting rid of players at a cheap price. Do you know what I mean? Like, if there's how many offers realistically? How many offers do you think the club are going to get for Rasmus Højlund this summer? It's not going to be many. There's a claim for handball there. In the 94th minute, there was a big check. There's going to be a look. They're going to check whether maybe there's a penalty here for Crystal Palace. That's a foul and a yellow card. There's going to be a check. Jefferson Lerma with the foul. Corin Wilson, Sheffield United, oh dear, I know, dropping points to Plymouth in the last minute. Disgusting. It is, but that's what we've done with Agate, Xerxes, De Ligt. All of those were all around about 40 million quid, weren't they? Thereabouts. That's the sort of level United are going to be operating at. As soon as you start chucking 30 million, an extra 30 million on that, it crucifies United. If De Ligt is 45 million quid, or whatever he ended up being, but that's spread over 3, 4, 5 years, then it's nothing. If it's 70 million, it's a lot of cash. We spread the cost. And yeah, but you can only spreading the cost, you still have to come within a budget. Like, you can't just get away with it by spreading the cost. £70 million still has to be paid to get Cunha. And that 70 million has to come from somewhere. And Manchester United have got in a lot of trouble in the past by buying players without the income to sustain it. And if they haven't got Champions League football, like I said, it's kind of pointless talking about Manchester United and the teams and the players that they might have and the players they might sell and whatever. All of that will be massively dependent on Europe, I promise you. It will all change because the amount of money that United could have, it changes the players they go for, changes the profile, and also the players that they might be able to sell and keep. There's probably some players in that squad where they go, yeah, you know what? If we get Champions League football, we need better than him, so we'll ship him out because we can afford to take maybe a 5 to 10% loss on his overall book value because we've got more money coming in. But if they don't have Champions League football, then some of those players, and I think Rasmus is one of them, some of those players they might look at and go, okay, well, we haven't got Champions League football, but we've got a 22-year-old striker here who was once valued at 80 million quid. If we sell him now, we're not going to get anywhere near that amount of money. We'd honestly be better off at this point keeping hold of him and trying to improve him and trying to get more money out from him. Plymouth 2, Sheffield United 1, that's finished. Leeds United 2, Preston 1, that's also finished. Something to do with contract length. So Chelsea signing. Yeah. So Chelsea can. I mean, all teams can spread the cost of a player's transfer fee across the length of the contract, and that you're right. That is why Chelsea do 7-8 year contracts now, because it allows them to kind of amortise the fee financially over a longer period, which means each year it's a smaller amount. Simple. But for Manchester United, it's not quite as simple. Because at least with Chelsea and with City, they've got Champions League revenue coming in. If Manchester United don't, it changes absolutely everything. Ball into the box, cleared away by City, and I think that might be it. 97 minutes. There you go. Game over. It's game over. It's Manchester City 5, Crystal Palace 2. Unbelievable game. I've got to be honest. We all expected goals in this one, didn't we? We all expected goals. And, yeah, 5-2. Astonishing game. Onana could have just cost us. Again, I think that's another player that United might take a view on. Onana's still a young goalkeeper. He's a goalkeeper who had a lot of ability not that long ago. He's a player who, I guess like Anthony, I guess like Sancho, I guess like Rashford, I guess like any number of players who have, McTominay, players who weren't working out at United but have then left and have seen their... Because that's the thing that financial... Like the guys upstairs, that's what will annoy them. Players like Scott McTominay, who they sell for a bean, go to Napoli, become one of the better midfielders in Serie A, and if Napoli decided to sell Scott McTominay on, they'd make a tidy profit on him. The same with maybe Anthony and Betis. Anthony, if Anthony was to go and, maybe Anthony plays well at Betis, maybe Rashford plays well at Aston Villa, and his value soars. The club will have a real issue with just giving players away. They've paid 50 million quid for Onana. They don't want to sell him now for 20, which is probably the value you'd get for Onana right now. They would rather keep hold of him or send him out on loan for a year or something like that. But again, if you send him out on loan for a year, you're still paying his wages, or certainly the majority of them. So it's tough. It's really tough to get players off your books when United have committed to such big fees, big wages for him. Makes it harder to get everything out of, to get them off. So it's a tough one. But listen, we'll talk more about that in the next game. We've got half an hour to kick off. Nottingham Forest against Everton in the big 3 o'clock game. I'll be back in about 15 to 20 minutes. Hopefully you all are with me. Stick with me if you're going to. I'm going to end the stream now. I'm going to be back over on TikTok and YouTube and Insta and wherever else in literally 15 to 20 minutes. So, yeah, 15, 20 minutes. Come and join me. Make sure you've followed me. Make sure you've bookmarked me, whatever, so it pops up when I go live. But I will be live again no later than 10 to 3, 10 minutes before kickoff. And I'll see you shortly. Take it easy.